Hello and welcome to the final game in this best of three. It's tied up 1-1. It's the IEM Taipei America Qualifiers, and we're still in the winner's bracket. I'm Rifkin, casting tonight with Zombie Grub. Of course, you're watching on Base Trade TV. Top left corner of the map, though, we got the Evil Geniuses Red Circle. What? Red Terran player, XenoCider. I don't even know where that came from.
In the bottom right, as the blue Terran, it's Storm's Polt.
A really large part of me was just hoping you would have said Protoss. Just. Sorry, guys. We, of course, have seen a really good back and forth between these two players. Polt actually taking that really early gas this game. I think it's probably the biggest deviation from what we've seen so far.
Oh, what do you think this means, Rifkin?
Well, Zombie Up, I think this means he's going to have an earlier gas income, thus leading towards what is, after the barracks being placed down, a faster factory follow-up.
Oh, thank you.
Actually, no, okay, this is going to be... Okay, hear me out. He's going to put an engineering bay down, proxy command center, build a planetary fortress.
He's not you, Rifkin.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Or even better, he'll lift his command center.
They both went gas first. Polt just went a little bit faster.
Well, this is what I was kind of interested about, to see if this will change up the series or not, because we've had the exact same openers from both players same times. Not to say that they're exact same from one another, but their own build copied in game 2 as well. XenoCider tried to squeeze out that Widow Mine, kind of awkwardly useless in game 2. It was actually not too bad in game number 1, but yeah, I'm really curious to see if he still goes with it. I mean, the Widow Mine's a cute move because it's nice at catching a shot off on the Banshee, maybe a shot off on the Medevac, or killing a Hellion straight up, but sadly hasn't been the case so far.
That was a rather useless Widow Mine last game. Very, very much so. But as you can see, these builds are lining up absolutely perfectly. Oh no, wait, it's Split went down faster for Polt. No.
Well, as we hop into this, I'm going to chat asking, what's up with these intros? Guys, we just love filling that downtime. It's better than watching the boring load screen and us awkwardly repeating the same phrases we've said 30 seconds ago. So, a little bit of music, a little bit of shake it up, and it gives you a small preview of the map. There's a little touch we like to do at Base Trade TV.
We finally have some difference here. We have XenoCider going for gas, and Polt not. There's also, I also wanted to bring up before that, you brought up that, was that he is actually building his platypus as a wall off, and Polt is not, which I think he's decided from last game he really wants a wall off.
Yeah, I can't blame with the Hellions coming up like that. This will shut that down, but Polt has also continued to invest in Hellions once again, so this is a pretty good move out of Xeno. Downside is there's a couple of spots you can sneak into the base still. We do and probably will see someone like Polt try to take advantage of this if he realizes he can't quite bust his way in.
The lack of scouting in all 3 games is kind of mind-boggling. Like, they do not scout each other at all.
Yeah, no repro opening, no SCV comes out across the map.
Yeah, I guess they had to on Catalina because it's a 3-base map. But even still, like, I don't even think the SCV, like, it's like, oh, they're not here, let me go back home. Process of elimination. Anyways, because I almost feel like it's, at this point, XenoCider might guess that Polt's going to do the exact same thing and just keep the Banshee at home. But it'd be nice to know.
I'm just hoping for XenoCider this Widow Mine does something this time. I mean, it's not like it's a heavy investment. Widow Mines are freaking cheap. But it's the fact that it does nothing and you're kind of like, please, this could do so much.
Wait a minute, better doing nothing than doing a journey, right?
Yes, killing your own units are the most painful and excruciating death. But, one of the big things for Polt was, okay, before the Hellion even tried to duck up to the top of the ramp, it scouted to see the natural base. And it's not that there was no natural base coming down. And quite frankly, that might be the only thing that might have made him not invest in an attack, but instead turn around and try and get his own command center up. But this Widow Mine, ooh, I don't know if Polt saw that, almost got a shot off on the heart of those Marines.
Pretty sure he did. That's pretty important. I really like Xeno's response here. I mean, adding the supply depot wall, it never seems to be bad, really. You could always argue that tanks might siege it up, but usually when tanks come into play, you're already going to a second base or a natural, so they're rarely sieging up the supply depots there. But anyways, it's gonna be such like a relief, like such less of a headache, He's already getting like a Raven out now, so this follow-up push, while still scary from Polt, XenoCider's just gonna have more units, plain and simple. The Banshee never went across the map. It knows an attack is coming.
Ravens here to defend as well. Helene's being driven off immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, it did burn the auto turret, which I guess kind of sucks, but you know, this spiraled so far out of control for last game. Like, Xeno didn't stand a chance with the way the damage had been dealt, but this time around, so far the defense is okay. He's got to be a little bit careful going forward like this. He did lose that Raven, or sorry, the Banshee last time to a quick scan, but with the amount of Marines he has, the damage is looking pretty fantastic. However, Polt's wrapping around with some of these Hellions, looking to get those Hellion shots off. A lot of these SCVs are really low and close to dead. Like 1 or 2 more shots could kill so many SCVs.
Okay, 4, I believe. Well, 8 in total.
But,
whoa.
but even though it's 8 in total, that was at the cost of a very large portion of his army supply.
That's true. It's very key he didn't lose any of the medevacs, though, and the Hellions were only minerals. He even kept most of the Marines alive, so I don't know. Command Center, only a little bit faster for XenoCider, but Polt's up by 8 SE. I gotta give that one to Polt, you know? And the Banshee, again, probably will not do a whole lot of return damage.
Yeah. Well, for XenoCider, you know, last game he was in a much worse spot. He still recovered okay, but tech really became a problem for that game more than anything else.
Yeah. You know, this is another map where you can get, it's like who abuses the position first. On Overgrowth, it was the 3rd going to the natural. On this map, it's that cliff going to the natural. That's where XenoCider really started to pull ahead.
Yeah, actually, that'd be cool to see him emulate that move yet again, but middle of the map, he does actually take a Marine fight, so if that's premonition. GG, Polt, you might as well just leave.
Yeah. Exactly. Polt's still trying to not only just harass, but also get vision on what's going on. You know, he sees, okay, the tank's still there, Marines are still there, don't have to worry about them coming across the map. Oh, poor Marine.
Squashed and killed. Polt, though, you know, kind of talk about XenoCider possibly the one to put the tanks over here. He very well may do it himself. Let's not forget, Polt did try and do that on on Overgrowth.
You know, if this plays out exactly the same, then we all know what's gonna happen. XenoCider's gonna win.
Well,
duh.
I don't think it's gonna play out exactly the same, but okay.
Shush, Rifkin.
You know, this one of mine's got to pick a shot here. I think it's one of the few times you're going to not only have the APM to do the micro, but you should probably do the micro as well. Not go off on the tanks, but dance between the two so that you can... Oh, never mind.
Or die.
As I say, goes off on the medevac, would have been a secured kill, would have been really nice to see. But point defense going to come down. Siege Tank's getting some great shots off on Polt. Oh, his tank's already almost dead.
Yeah, no way he does this push anymore. Did lose the Raven, that kind of sucks. That would have been useful for maybe his own return push with the point defense drone. The Banshee might actually do some damage, looks like it kills a couple of Marines, and just like a couple of SCVs, but still nice. Now they're at even SCVs. Polt went for that much faster 3rd CC, something again he did on Overgrowth. This is a nice little move here.
Oh, it's
He's gonna try and repair the tanks. Oh, he doesn't actually get any tanks. Great. Great for Xeno.
Every little bit counts, every little bit to get ahead against somebody like Polt. It's not an easy guy to get leads and gains against, but with the extractor going down, or refinery rather, pardon me, protest, with the refinery going down. I just can't. Look, my point is, the refinery going down is going to sting, because Polt's getting to that point where he's producing a lot of tanks. Polt is getting to that point where he's going to be, you know, ramping up the medevacs coming out several at a time, and of course getting his upgrades behind this, so that 4th geyser meant a little bit more than normally it would.
The fact that XenoCider had a stim over him is pretty big deal. Stim and combat shields. Like, ooh.
Why do I keep seeing Zerg when we're casting Terran?
I just find it really funny. Like, I don't think he could have done that same statement on purpose.
I feel like at this point, I'm probably having something go wrong in my brain I should get looked at. Because you're like, okay, once or twice, like, okay. But the 5th time, you're like, Rifkin, are you okay, man? Like... so anyways, one of the questions asked earlier was how many players qualify out of this? 2 in total, folks, for the America brackets. 1 here in the winners bracket and 1 in the losers. Let's see him start to come with his tank push. He's gonna kill that extractor yet again. Refinery yet again. Ugh.
You called it the right thing, though, Rifkin.
Yeah, well, I guess if he killed the quote-unquote extractor the first time, he is gonna kill the quote-unquote extractor the second time around. Refinery dies, but Polt's coming across the map with a pretty hefty boost, and XenoCider hasn't really got a whole lot at home. If these Marines are already attacking as the drops come out, okay, that's actually not too bad. But because they're reacting, I don't know. Stim's
really gonna help out.
Yeah, Polt's just barely got his, like, seconds from finishing.
And even then, no combat shield. So, like, no matter what, the Marines actually were doing a pretty decent job against Marines with medevacs. Does have to give this position, but you know, I really, really, really hope that XenoCider sees as a third, because he could definitely force a liftoff. He should.
Yeah. Well, the positioning for XenoCider at the moment, I mean, he's got that supply lead once again. We saw this in game 1. He was able to take advantage of this really nicely. We'll see if he can keep bullying Polt, but that's kind of a funny phrase to say, right? Like, who can bully Polt in StarCraft 2? Moving towards this third base is definitely going to be something he wants to do.
17-year-old kid.
Yeah, exactly. Kid who barely qualifies to play in WCS according to the new rules. It's 7-4 on top of the Marines. It is even upgrades, but XenoCider has got those combat shields, and that's going to help in a big way.
Oh,
Polt
wow.
still doesn't have combat shields at this point in the game. It's going to cost him quite a bit. Picking up in those medevacs with those tanks, keep him alive a little bit longer. Stims into the natural bases. XenoCider is on freaking fire. Oh, that's going to stay a good game, ladies and gentlemen. Prepare to rest in peace as you die from the loss of your Partoofs.
Whoa.
With what was less than 2,581 Partoofs on XenoCider, with 31,000 on Polt. We're going to see